exciting edition of WFS Showdown. My name is Dallas Danger. I'll be your host as always. This week on the program, we have so much great action for you, including the troublemaker Brian Logan inside the ring. He'll be in action today. We also have a special treat. The WFS American Champion, the Ultimate Athlete, David Anthony. He'll be inside the ring. He'll be in action. And in our main event, Kyle Maggard will get an opportunity at Murphy Costigan and the World Fighting Showcase Television Championship. You're going to see all that and so much more on Showdown today. Let's get right to it. Let's go to the ring and get to the action. This contest is scheduled for one fall with a 15-minute time limit. Introducing first from Jackson, Kentucky, weighing 205 pounds, it's Marty Clay. And his opponent from Dandridge, Tennessee, weighing 258 pounds, the troublemaker Brian Logan. Young Marty Clay from Jackson, Kentucky, set to do battle with the troublemaker Brian Logan. Collar and elbow tie up here. Nice arm drag by Clay. Young man trying to make a name for himself here in the World Fighting Showcase. Nice show of respect there. We always like to see that here in WFS. They lock horns again. This time, Logan takes the arm into the hammerlock. Crafty reversal by Marty Clay. Drop down, and we're down on the mat. Years of experience of Brian Logan going to be the difference in this one, I would think, as these two fill each other out. Quick lateral press, but a kick out by Marty Clay. Stiff right hand by Logan. That's going to stun Marty into the corner. Snapmare back on the arm goes Brian Logan. Brian and his tag team partner Wayne Atkins have said that singles competition is not going to distract them from the issues they've had with the tag team champions, the Heat Seekers. As Logan breaks the hold, but Marty Clay certainly feeling the effects here. Another collar and elbow tie up here. Drop toe hold by Marty Clay. Looking for the crossface, but Logan sneaks his way out. Clay, good ring awareness there, gets to the rope, still feeling the effects of the work that the troublemaker has done to his arm. Great crowd here getting fired up behind Brian Logan, but I'm sure that they're going to learn to love Marty Clay as well. Shoulder tackle by Logan, and he's getting fired up here. Drops the elbow on the back of the head. Clay is reeling a little bit now. Brian Logan takes the arm, cranks down on the shoulder once again. Marty Clay in a lot of pain here. Referee in perfect position, checking on the young up-and-comer here in the World Fighting Showcase. And the crowd once again getting fired up behind the troublemaker Brian Logan, who's been impressive here thus far. More work on the shoulder and arm of Marty Clay. Nice show of athleticism there by Clay, and now unloading a couple of rights, backing Logan into the corner. Irish whip, what's Marty got in mind here? Oh, he eats the boot of Brian Logan. Now Logan back in control. Back elbow takes down Marty Clay in a heap. As you can hear the crowd getting behind Logan, another elbow. And he's got the legs. Looks like he might be going for the Logan lock here. He's got it cinched in. Referee is right there. And that's all for Marty Clay. Brian Logan picking up the victory. Experience gets Brian Logan the victory here today over Marty Clay. Dallas Danger here outside of the dressing room with the troublemaker Brian Logan, who picked up an impressive victory today against Marty Clay. And Brian, we've started to talk about the Heat Seekers not being around on television lately, and you and Wayne being pulled in opposite directions. So just tell me, from your perspective, what is the morale, what are the goals of the Logan and Adkins camp?
Well, I'll tell you what, first of all, we're training hard every day because you got to be in great shape to face world-class athletes, just like I did previously tonight. But also to take on the World Tag Team Champions, the Heat Seekers. The World Tag Team Champions have been out there defending their belts all over the place. And when me and Wayne get an opportunity, we're going to try to take those belts from them and get that boot back. But while they're not here, we're also going to set our sights on things like Murphy Costigan and Bo James. People like Mike the Man. People that are thorns in the sides of people like me and Wayne. And I tell you what, I love Wayne to death. I trust him like a brother. It's been the best thing that's happened to me in World Fighting Showcase to have him behind me, holding my back, keeping it down, taking care of everything. I don't have to worry about the Bo Jameses. I don't have to worry about the 2-on-1s because I trust Wayne and Wayne trusts me. And together, we're in this together, and that's the important thing. Whether it's in tag team combination or whether it's in singles, we're together, and that's what matters.
Well, it certainly matters a lot. There is trust between Brian and Logan and Wayne Adkins, even when they're handling business in one-on-one competition here in World Fighting Showcase.
This is not just a podcast. House of Kayfabe with Brian Resner and Stephen New. This is a tribe of devoted superfans that have crashed through the barricades, torn down barriers, and broken through the fourth wall. This is a creative think tank full of people who have given way too much of their lives to professional wrestling to not be getting a paycheck. This is a secret society of elite fans from all over the globe. And guess what? It isn't a secret anymore. House of Kayfabe, featuring Jim Cornette's lawyer, Stephen P. New, is available now on all major podcast platforms. Just click subscribe to join the Kayfabe stream and get access to unbelievable interviews, in-depth discussions, hilarious segments, and exclusive content. This is the fan-driven podcast you have been looking for. House of Kayfabe with Brian Resner and Stephen New.
Dallas Danger here with a World Fighting Showcase Event Center update. The World Fighting Showcase will return to our television home, the Fightatorium in Kingsport, Tennessee, Thursday, October the 14th, for a thrilling WFS Showdown television taping. Come be on television as you cheer all your favorite stars of the World Fighting Showcase at 475 Moorlock Street in Kingsport, Tennessee, just behind CJ's Bar. That's the Fightatorium, the television home of the World Fighting Showcase. Don't miss any of the action of WFS Showdown. You can see it live and in person Thursday, October the 14th, Kingsport, Tennessee at the Fightatorium. Be there. This contest is scheduled for one fall with a 20-minute time limit. Introducing first, from Sarasota, Florida, weighing 190 pounds, Nate Diamond. opponent from Charlotte, North Carolina, weighing 215 pounds, it's Mike the Man! Mike the Man, who's been on a bit of a winning streak lately, squaring off against Nate Diamond. Two fighters lock horns, and Mike Man goes right into the body slam, not wasting any time here. Misses with the elbow, though. Japanese-style arm drag by Nate Diamond, and a second for good measure. This one's getting off to a hot start. Drop kick lands flush, and Mike Man retreats to the outside. Man reeling just a little bit there from that offensive flurry by Nate Diamond, and the fans in attendance certainly behind Nate in this one. What a victory over Mike Man would mean for Nate Diamond as they lock horns again. This time, Man applies the side headlock. Nate Diamond fighting his way out, though. Off the ropes and a shoulder tackle by Man. He's going to pick the pace up once again. But he's met with a hip toss by Diamond, and Nate goes right into the arm, dropping the knees down. Doing damage to the elbow, it looked like there. Smart move by Nate Diamond, hanging on to that arm. But Man gets up, trying to fight his way out, but Nate Diamond has a firm grip on that arm bar. Mike Man getting back to his feet. Has been trapped in that hold for quite some time, but he picks up Nate Diamond, body slam, but Nate still not relinquishing the hold. He's got a firm grip on that arm. A lot of damage being done to the shoulder of Mike the Man. Seemingly trying everything he can to get out of the hold. Nate really has that cinched in. A clear strategy here by Diamond. And for the first time in a couple of minutes, there's some separation here. Reversal by Man. Knee to the gut sends Nate Diamond down to the mat. Big stomp by Man. Clearly frustrated after being in that arm bar for so long. Now Mike the Man goes to work on Nate Diamond. Knee to the back there. Now Man just taking the boots to Nate Diamond. Having words with the official here. Nate Diamond over to the ropes, and Mike Man is going to use that to his advantage. Referee Jamie Harris trying to get in between Mike Man and Nate Diamond here. Wanting to see a fair fight, but Man dragging Diamond away from the ropes. Nate Diamond in a lot of pain. Another knee to the back by Mike Man, and Man taking his time, inflicting pain. Certainly admiring his handiwork here, and now taunting Nate Diamond as Nate's trying to get back to his feet. Man, certainly never short with words for the fans, for his opponents, for referees, anyone who will listen, really, and he is now just toying with Nate Diamond, who, as you can see, clearly in a lot of pain, but still fighting back here. Right hands to the gut, but Mike the Man unloads a couple of rights of his own. Reversal by Diamond out of the corner, and a shoulder tackle by Mike Mann. Not even sure that was by design. Now Mann goes to the arm. The shoulder of Nate Diamond, pressing the knee down just to cinch the hold in even more is Mike the Man. Crowd getting fired up behind Nate Diamond. Back to a vertical base. Nate fights his way out, creates some separation here. But can he take advantage? Boot to the gut. Back and forth now go Mike the Man and Nate Diamond. Off the ropes, reversal by Man. And Nate, crafty schoolboy roll-up and a count of 2. Very nearly a victory for Diamond. Clothesline now. Nate is getting ramped up. Flying cross body, hooks the leg. That's got to be all. No, kick out by Mike Mann. Impressive offense here by Nate Diamond. Trying to capitalize, trying to get a victory. Runs in with the splash. Is he looking for it again? He is, but didn't get all of it. Mike had come out of the corner, but a bulldog lands for Nate Diamond, and he says that's all. Hooks the outside leg. Another near fall. Mike the Man kicking out once again. After a boot to the gut, overhead suplex by Mike Mann, a variation of the Uranagi, and he's used that a lot lately, and it gets the victory for him here.
Dallas Danger outside the dressing room, and I'm here once again with Mike the Man. Mike, we've been talking a lot lately about you climbing the ladder, and you pick up another victory against Nate Diamond.
You know, I did, because I realized that if you win matches, you get to face the top guys, right? So I gotta mow through these sensational Wayne Atkins, I gotta mow through these Nate Diamonds, because somebody's gotta lose. And it ain't gonna be me, because I don't lose. So all of this World Fighting Showcase locker room, all these guys that think that they're the man, I came here to remind everybody that they ain't as good as me. That's just the reality of it. They can try their little hearts out, but the reality is, you can't beat the man. There's only one man. Mike. The Man.
Mike Mann picking up steam and picking up confidence. It's oozing off of him. I can tell you right now, fight fans.
This is not just a podcast. House of Kayfabe with Brian Resner and Stephen New. This is a tribe of devoted superfans that have crashed through the barricades, torn down barriers, and broken through the fourth wall. This is a creative think tank full of people who have given way too much of their lives to professional wrestling to not be getting a paycheck. This is a secret society of elite fans from all over the globe. And guess what? It isn't a secret anymore.
House of Kayfabe, featuring Jim Cornette's lawyer, Stephen P. New, is available now on all major podcast platforms. Just click subscribe to join the Kayfabe stream and get access to unbelievable interviews, in-depth discussions, hilarious segments, and exclusive content. This is the fan-driven podcast you have been looking for.
House of Kayfabe with Brian Resner and Stephen New.
Dallas Danger here with a World Fighting Showcase Event Center update. The World Fighting Showcase will return to our television home, the Fightatorium in Kingsport, Tennessee, Thursday, October the 14th, for a thrilling WFS Showdown television taping. Come be on television as you cheer all your favorite stars of the World Fighting Showcase at 475 Moorlock Street in Kingsport, Tennessee, just behind CJ's Bar. That's the Fightatorium, the television home of the World Fighting Showcase. Don't miss any of the action of WFS Showdown. You can see it live and in person Thursday, October the 14th, Kingsport, Tennessee at the Fightatorium. Be there.
Introducing first, from Jonesboro, Tennessee, weighing 155 pounds, Chris Magnus. And his opponent, from La Follette, Tennessee, weighing in at 223 pounds, he is the World Fighting Showcase American Champion, the Ultimate Athlete, David Anthony.
The WFS American Champion, the Ultimate Athlete, David Anthony, in action today on the program against Chris Magnus, and a quick schoolboy there. David Anthony looking for a light workload in this one. Collar and elbow tie-up now. Magnus going for the roll-up, but a kick out by the American Champion. Another lockup this time. Anthony goes to the arm, but Chris Magnus in tight, trying to escape the hold. I'm sure understanding that the American Champion is going to work that arm and try to lock in his patented arm bar. Nice reversal there by Magnus. Arm dragged by the champion, now another, and he hangs on this time to the left arm of Chris Magnus.
I tell you, don't count Magnus out, though. Yeah, David Anthony, he's the American champion. But Magnus
Certainly would think in this one that David Anthony is going to try to slow Chris Magnus down, keep him on the mat, work on that arm.
right now, he may not look like David Anthony in control.
Reversal by Magnus now.
Moves faster than a greased-up pig. Magnus now, he's got the arm. But David Anthony with the reversal there. Anthony, potentially going for that arm bar.
Down to the mat now, David Anthony back in control, but Chris Magnus certainly putting up a fight here in the early going against the WFS American Champion, David Anthony, here on the program today. He's been traveling quite a bit, defending that American Championship. But in the ring here today against Chris Magnus, who so far has been impressive. Now some separation, but Magnus down with the shoulder tackle, lateral press, and a kick out by Chris Magnus. David Anthony immediately back on the offensive, though. That's why he is the American Champion.
Confirming that there is no submission at this point. But David Anthony going to work on the legs just that quickly, switching to the
So far, Anthony has been the aggressor. He's stayed in close quarters with Chris Magnus, so to speak, not allowing him to pick up the pace and go for those high-flying maneuvers that Chris Magnus will certainly try to use if he can create some separation here. Cradle by the champion and a quick kick out by Chris Magnus. Right back to the arm goes the Ultimate Athlete. Again, he'll try and wear down Magnus and get to that stellar finishing hold that he has had so much success with since winning the American Championship with that hold back in March. Now back to a vertical base. Chris Magnus taking the upper hand here. Another schoolboy roll-up and a 2 count for Chris Magnus. Single leg takedown by the American champion, David Anthony here. Magnus trying to position himself and get out of this hold. Now forearms to the back and a kick for good measure. That creates that separation we were talking about. Can Chris Magnus capitalize? A victory here against David Anthony would mean so much to Chris Magnus. Running knee, side of the head, the temple. He could have knocked out the champion, but David Anthony kicks out. Maybe on instinct alone, back to his feet. Tight uppercut there by the Ultimate Athlete. A second one takes Chris Magnus down to the mat. And right back to the arm goes David Anthony. Magnus into the ropes. Referee in great position there. Lorenzo Hurley, one of our top officials here, doing a great job of keeping this one clean, and certainly neither of these fighters will try to bend the rules as Chris Magnus goes for a vertical suplex, but it's reversed by Anthony. Immediately rolls over into the cover. Nicely done by David Anthony, failing to hook the leg though, and that allowed Chris Magnus to kick out before the count of 3. But David Anthony keeps Chris Magnus in his clutches and continues to work on that arm. That is the strategy, and many have faced David Anthony knowing that and still unable to withstand the attack of the accomplished grappler David Anthony, a gold medalist in judo, currently training in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu as well, and he brings what he learns there to the World Fighting Showcase. Little back and forth now. Up into the fireman's carry. Chris Magnus trying to fight out. He can, and he meets the knee of the Ultimate Athlete into the cover, hooking that outside leg. No, chooses not to. Maybe Chris Magnus repositioning there while he was in the pinning predicament. And I've got to say, we're quite a few minutes into this contest, and Chris Magnus has been as impressive as I've ever seen him inside the squared circle, withstanding the onslaught of the Ultimate Athlete. Now the shoulders are down there, but David Anthony knew exactly where he was, didn't relinquish the arm, and rolls right back into this hold. If David Anthony finds an opening, he will lock in that patented armbar of his. Irish whip into the corner. Chris Magnus gets his feet up, but David Anthony catches him and drops Chris Magnus's back into his knees, right into the cover. Creative way to go for a victory there, but Chris Magnus kicks out, and the look on David Anthony's face says he can't even believe it. Now just dropping the knee on the arm. Maybe a little frustration from the American champion here. Into the cover. Another kick out by Chris Magnus. The crowd in attendance here in Bluefield is certainly enjoying this contest between Magnus and Anthony. As David goes right back to that arm, looking for that opening, looking to get out of this one unscathed, but Chris Magnus is putting up the fight of his life. Cannonball into the corner, all The weight of Chris Magnus crashing into the American champion. Here's an opening. Chris Magnus is fired up. He goes for the cover. But a count of two, hesitated just enough for the Ultimate Athlete to escape an upset here at the hands of Chris Magnus. But Chris is still fighting. Jumps up, looking for the DDT, but he's planted by David Anthony. Shoulders are down again, failing to hook the leg. Jawbreaker by Magnus. He's not done yet. Looked like maybe he was going for a cutter or a neck breaker. David Anthony drops him right into that arm bar. Nowhere for Chris Magnus to go, and that's it. He taps out.
Here's your winner, David Anthony.
Chris Magnus put up quite a fight, but the American champion prevails once again. David Anthony victorious today on the program.
Dallas Danger outside the dressing room with the WFS American champion, the Ultimate Athlete, David Anthony. Another big victory, another defense of the title for you here today, Mr. Anthony.
Well, yes, Dallas, I am the American champion, and I told everybody that I would take on any challenger here in World Fighting Showcase. So you keep the challengers coming, and I'll keep knocking them down.
Well, you know, I got to say, the challenger you had today, Chris Magnus, not someone that I think many people expected to get as much of a contest out of you as he did. Speak a little bit to the challenge of Chris Magnus and how you finally got the victory.
So studying on Chris Magnus, I'll be honest, I was kind of lazy, and I didn't take him as seriously as I should. And it surprised me. He came to play, and I had my work cut out for me tonight, and I'm very surprised and impressed with him.
Well, it was the armbar once again. Still the American champion, the Ultimate Athlete, David Anthony. Dallas Danger outside the dressing room, and I'm with Nate Diamond. Nate taking another loss today, but I feel like Nate, I mean, every time you get a little closer and a little closer, and Mike Mann got the best of you today, but I've got to say, since you first came to the World Fighting Showcase, you've made some improvements. You've gotten better.
You know, you're exactly right. You know, and I'm trying, and I look at myself and I think about all of the things that I've had go on in my life. And you know, they say you get knocked down 7 times, but I get back up 8. You know, Mike Mann, I'm looking to make some redemption, and to the WFS locker room, I'm coming for each and every one of you.
Nate Diamond still confident despite the loss today, and he is, I got to tell you, I feel like it's not going to be long. He's going to be picking up victories here in the WFS.
Hello, fight fans. Dallas Danger here. And if you're like me, you love all the action here on WFS Showdown every single week. But you don't want to wait until Saturday to see all the stars of the World Fighting Showcase. Well, I have great news for you. If you go to WFSinsider.com and become a subscriber today, you'll be the first to see Showdown each and every week. WFSinsider.com. For less than $5 a month, you can become an insider.
This is not just a podcast. House of Kayfabe with Brian Resner and Stephen New. This is a tribe of devoted super fans that have crashed through the barricades, torn down barriers, and broken through the fourth wall. This is a creative think tank full of people who have given way too much of their lives to professional wrestling to not be getting a paycheck. This is a secret society of elite fans from all over the globe. And guess what? It isn't a secret anymore.
House of Kayfabe, featuring Jim Cornette's lawyer, Stephen P. New, is available now on all major podcast platforms. Just click subscribe to join the Kayfabe stream and get access to unbelievable interviews, in-depth discussions, hilarious segments, and exclusive content. This is the fan-driven podcast you have been looking for.
House of Kayfabe with Brian Resner and Stephen New.
Hello, fight fans. Dallas Danger here. And if you're like me, you love all the action here on WFS Showdown every single week. But you don't want to wait until Saturday to see all the stars of the World Fighting Showcase. Well, I have great news for you. If you go to WFSinsider.com and become a subscriber today, you'll be the first to to see Showdown each and every week. WFSinsider.com. For less than $5 a month, you can become an insider.
The challenger from Hazard, Kentucky, weighing 301 pounds, Kyle Maggard. And his opponent, accompanied to the ring by his advisor, Bo James, from Glasgow, Scotland, weighing 240 pounds. He is the World Fighting Showcase television champion, Murphy Costigan.
Well, folks, I normally wait and reserve comment for when the bell sounds, but Murphy Costigan certainly in no hurry to square off with Kyle Maggard, his challenger here today on the program. And finally, the bell sounds, and Hazard, Kentucky's Kyle Maggard with a big opportunity here against Murphy Costigan for the television title, and Murphy doing what he does best, jaw-jacking with Kyle Maggard, not wanting to get into a shoving match, and that's exactly why. Kyle shoves him to the mat. Murphy retreats to the corner, the bottom rope there. Referee doing a good job of keeping this one from getting out of hand from the word go. Kyle Maggard was impressive in his WFS debut, and now a chance to become a champion here in the World Fighting Showcase. Collar and elbow tie-up. Kyle backing Costigan into the corner. Clean break there by Kyle Maggard. Champion continuing to do everything he can to prevent getting into hand-to-hand combat with the larger, stronger, I would estimate, Kyle Maggard. Another lockup here. This time Costigan backs Maggard into the corner. No clean break this time, but Maggard blocks the right hand of Costigan and unloads on the champion. Corner to corner, pillar to post. What a clothesline by the challenger. And the champion goes down and immediately rolls out of the ring. Sometimes it is indeed better to be lucky than good, and Costigan was right there, able to get out of harm's way before Maggard could capitalize. Bo James at ringside giving the advice to Costigan. Champion breaks the count and goes right back to the outside. Referee he's had enough. Lorenzo Hurley, our official for this one, wanting to get Costigan back in the ring, wanting to see a fair one-on-one contest for the television championship like all of us here in the World Fighting Showcase, and I'm sure all of you watching at home as well want to see. Costigan finally in the ring, and he's just wants no part of Kyle Maggard here. And I got to say, I'm impressed with Kyle's composure and patience here. This is quite an opportunity for Maggard. Boot to the gut by the champion. Now a right hand lands flush, but Maggard fires back with one of his own, and once again, the champion Costigan to the outside. Costigan on the outside, reeling from that punch from his challenger, Kyle Maggard. Bo James there with the words of wisdom, if you will. Taking everything the official Lorenzo Hurley has to keep Kyle Maggard back while Costigan steps back through the ropes once again. Tension's running high here in our championship affair. Side headlock applied now by Costigan. Referee in perfect position there, checking in to make sure that's a legal hold. And now Maggard trying to fight his way out. Backs Costigan to the ropes. Shoulder tackle, and Kyle Maggard not budging. 301 pounds of big Kentuckian. Costigan goes down. The crowd loves it, but he's rolled out to the floor once again. Referee begins to count, and I think Kyle Maggard is starting to show some frustration here. Every time he gains some momentum, gets a clear advantage, Costigan gets out of dodge, so to speak, and now Kyle goes after Murphy Costigan. Costigan to the eyes. And that's the opening that the television champion was looking for. Now he's ready to fight. Now that he's blinded Kyle Maggard with that gouge of the eyes, he's right in the challenger's face. Reversal by Kyle into the corner, but he eats the boot of Costigan, and Costigan takes out the knee with the chop block. Now Murphy Costigan going to work on that left knee of Kyle Maggard. Ruthless attack here by the Scottish sensation, the television champion. And he goes to the eyes again. And he's lowering the knee pad of Kyle Maggard. That little bit of protection there on the left knee is gone as Costigan, unrelenting in his assault. Bo James on the outside urging his charge Costigan to break the leg. Now a cover, but Maggard out at one. That's one thing, but whether Kyle can get back to his feet here is another question entirely. Costigan has focused, honed in on that knee. Another cover, this time a count of two. Maggard more throwing Costigan off than kicking out that go-round. Kyle doing everything he can, trying to fight back to his feet, but Costigan is right there. Knee bar twisting the ankle, just punishing the left leg of Kyle Maggard, who grabs the bottom rope. That's going to break the hold, but Costigan using every bit of the referee's count. Now the television champion is just choking Kyle Maggard. Insult to injury, if you will. Using that middle rope, continuing to choke the life out of Kyle Maggard. Kyle can't get to his feet, and now he's going to have trouble breathing as well. Into the cover, another kick out by Kyle Maggard, but you have to wonder at this point how much the challenger has left in the tank. Fighting from his knees. Now he's back to his feet, finally. Into the corner. Costigan once again goes to the leg. Maggard in a lot of pain here. Maggard is down once again. Costigan continues to stick to that strategy. Once again, torquing that knee. Maggard's shoulders went down briefly there. Referee in good position, and that time a 2 count. Maggard is feeling the effects of Murphy Costigan. Kyle gets to that bottom rope again, and Costigan will have to relinquish the hold, but the damage may have already been done here. Kyle gets to his feet and unloads a right hand, blocks another of Costigan's. But once again, Murphy Costigan goes to the eyes. Unfair advantage. Blatantly cheating right in front of the referee. Certainly don't want to see a television championship matchup end in a disqualification, but at some point the referee has got to get control of this, and now Kyle is reaching, grabbing at the hair and the face of Costigan, doing everything he can to try and get out of this hold. challenger Maggard writhing in pain as he unloads a right hand and now a second. But Costigan has it cinched in. Kyle to the bottom rope, referee counting. That will once again break the hold of Murphy Costigan, the television champion. What a focused attack here, but a cradle by Kyle Maggard, and he very nearly won the television title there. But Costigan up and clotheslines Maggard and takes him back down. Kyle is on spaghetti legs here. Costigan with the cover. But Kyle Maggard is not ready to give up the fight. He understands what this means. He understands that this opportunity doesn't come that easy, and he kicks out again as Costigan is very frustrated. He has given Kyle Maggard all he can handle and then some, but Kyle is still not ready to give it up here. In the corner now, Costigan goes to the throat of Kyle Maggard. Bo James is right there, and he's going to get involved too as the referee is distracted with Costigan. Kyle Maggard is an impressive fighter, but 2-on-1 when you've been choked and you've had your eyes gouged and your knee attacked like Kyle Maggard has, it's too much for any man. Ear slap. What a creative way for Kyle Maggard to fight back here. He gets out of the hold. Can he get to his feet? Can he capitalize? Back up to a vertical base. Blocks the right hand. Now a second. He has got Murphy's number when they're face to face. Atomic drop, but Kyle did some damage to his own knee there. Neck breaker, but Kyle unable to keep his balance and get every bit of that one. Off the ropes now. Costigan ducks under a clothesline, ducks under a second. Spine buster by Kyle Maggard. He's right there for the cover and a near fall. Murphy Costigan out at 2, and Kyle knew that was the first real opportunity he's had to pick up a victory and leave here with the television championship. The great fans here in Bluefield, West Virginia, certainly behind Kyle Maggard and his effort to end the reign of Murphy Costigan, who is unloading. Now Kyle Maggard going for that inverted DDT. Bo James up on the apron. Referee right there as Costigan gets to the ropes. Costigan goes to the throat of Kyle Maggard now. Back in control, but Kyle still on his feet in the corner. DDT by the champion. That might be all she wrote. Hooks the leg. Referee is down, and another kick out by Kyle Maggard. What an impressive show of valor from the challenger. Kyle Maggard has fought through the 2-on-1. He's fought through all the cheating, all the bending of the rules. And now Costigan sitting in the corner, not sure what to do next, not sure how he's going to put away Kyle Maggard. Bo James shouting, put him away. Maggard out of the way. This time he's got it, but Bo James again on the apron, and he's going to distract the referee. He's got the attention of Kyle Maggard now, too. And I'm not sure from my vantage point, but I think Bo James may have just tossed something over to Costigan, who's laying on the mat. No one paying attention. Have to speculate that whatever it was went in the knee pad, and there it is. Costigan hitting Kyle Maggard with that knee pad, and there's 3.
Here's your winner and still WFS television champion, Murphy Costigan.
Another victory for Costigan. He retains the title, but you can't take anything away from Kyle Maggard. He withstood so much of the despicable tactics of Costigan and James. And as you can see, the crowd is frustrated. They're trying to tell the referee what happened. But Murphy Costigan is still the WFS television champion. Dallas Danger back here outside of the dressing room. Kyle Maggard wanting to speak to the fans watching at home, but he's not in a good way, as you can tell, after that knee strike from Murphy Costigan.
Dally, just give me a second. I'm trying to come to my.
You take all the time you need.
Trying to come to my senses, man. You know, I've heard talk about this Murphy guy. I've heard talk about him, and he's been the television champion. And everybody told me going out there I need to watch out for him. And mainly because his mentor, his advisor in his corner is Bo James, one of the dirtiest people in all of the sport of professional wrestling. Willing to do anything to win. And that's what happened. There's no doubt in my mind that knee that he hit me with out of nowhere was another loaded up knee everybody had warned me about. But me being Kyle Maggard, I went in thinking that no matter what, that I was going to get the job done, and I came up short tonight. I did. No doubt about it. I came up short. I had kind of a scouting report on this guy. He was able to slide one over on me. But Murphy, let me tell you this. You've got that television title around your waist. And I can promise you it won't be around your waist for long, because I hear everybody's coming for you, and now I'm coming for you. And whether I'm coming for you and I take that title, it don't matter, because I'm coming for your butt, because it's just got personal.
Well, based on the circumstances, I don't think that's the last time Kyle Maggard will get an opportunity at championship gold here in WFS.